SRF Ninja here from soreelflix.com. Part 3 of my Asian film collection. I'm sharing with you my entire Dragon Dynasty collection, including the 2 Blu-rays I do have from them. It's a lot of movies. It's got Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, Sammo Hung, all the people I've already shared with you, but these are other movies I haven't showed you yet. These are just everything in my Dragon Dynasty collection. And Dragon Dynasty is a film company that released Asian films in the US, which they currently do not anymore for some reason. Alright, let's get down to it. And I'm going to show you everything in order, by the way. They're all numbered. So, first one they put out was this guy right here, Donnie Yen film, with my man Donnie Yen and Sammo Hung. Awesome film, cool film, great action. I was very happy to pick this up. Next up, Jackie Chan film, Police Story, must have. Gotta have Police Story, belongs in your collection, why don't you have it? Definitely gotta have it, it's a cool story, great action, and great stunt work. Next up, the film I highly enjoyed, Tony Jaa and The Protector. This is my second favorite film that Tony Jaa's ever made, and it's got some really great fight scenes and stunt work, and it has one scene in it was a non-stop take for like 10 minutes or whatever they did, but it was an insane view. It took them about months to film that one portion of the film. But anyways, great film. Shame on you if you haven't seen it or picked it up yet. Next up, another Donnie Yen film, something I was looking forward to, and I enjoyed it. So it's all about swords, and there's 7 of them, and that's the name of the title. 7 swords, and each sword has a different power, and I highly enjoyed it. Great film. Next up, another Jackie Chan film, Police Story 2. Another one you gotta have. Gotta pick it up. Police Story films are great, especially the older ones. Gotta have them, because they're filled with great action and really good stunt work. Next up is the first box collection that Dragon Dynasty put out, and this is a must-have. Infernal Affairs. Very great film. Great action, and guess what? You ever seen Departed? This is where that count comes from. Comes with all 3 films, and it's a must-have, I feel. Great action, really great story. Shame on you if you do not have this. I have to rewatch this. This is a great film. Next up, Born to Fight, from the producer of Ong Bak. Great action. Not as good as Tony Jaa stuff, but it is an awesome movie. Actually, I think I might have to rewatch this one too. It's a good film from what I remember, and I highly enjoyed it. Next up, and guess who this guy is? Boom. Above the Law. Has a few people in it. Has a couple Americans in it, even though it's an Asian film. And I enjoyed it. It has Yoon Biao in it, and also Cynthia Rothrock in it. She's an American female who kicks ass. Next up, Sammo Hung, and guess who again? Cynthia! Anyways, this film is even more enjoyable, I feel, because of the people who are involved. Sammo Hung in it. Gotta have this film, and you actually gotta have that last one. Tell you the truth, you gotta have them all. Next up, it's a Shaw Brother film, and it's a must-have. It's a 5-star classic, King Boxer, aka 5 Fingers of Death. Great film. Guess who that guy is right there? Huh? Is that Lil Lee? Gotta have it. Next up, another Shaw Brother classic from the Dragon Dynasty collection. The One-Armed Swordsman. Gotta have this in your collection. A very good film. It's got Jimmy Wang Yu in it, and I highly enjoyed this film. You gotta have it. Next up, My Young Auntie, and it's another Shaw Brothers film. They put out a lot of Shaw Brothers films, and I highly enjoyed this one as well. I highly enjoy a lot of Shaw Brother films. I feel you have to have this in your collection. Cool film. Next up, it's a must-have. Chow Yun-Fat, some more gunplay, some more crazy action. Hard Boiled. This is another film that everybody was talking about back in the day when I was just getting into Asian action. This is iconic right here. This film right here. This is the iconic 2-gun shoot 'em up Chow Yun-Fat movie right here. And guess what? John Woo. And they also, this film right here is The Game with Chow Yun-Fat in it. This is the film right here that's inspired it. Hey, next up, John Woo in an actual martial arts John Woo film. That's different. No guns are involved. Let's hurrah for the chivalry. And this one I actually highly enjoyed. This is actually a really good film. Next up, Jackie Chan. Guess what? Crime Story. Boom. He plays a cop. Is this part of the Police Story collection? Probably should be. It is. Pick it up. This has some crazy stunt work. Just like a lot of his old films when he's playing a cop, tons of stunt work in it. You gotta watch the endings, you get to see all the stunts happen, you see all the mishaps and everything. Next up, The City of Violence, something I never heard before it was put out, and I was actually happy to pick it up. It's a cool film. City of Violence. Weird stories, different. Next up, Dragon Heat. Sammo Hung, he's a little older in it. This guy right here looks like he's wearing a Five Deadly Venom mask almost. A decent film. It's okay. I think it's American made. It's got Maggie Q in it though. That hottie right there. Next up, Dog Bite Dog. I highly enjoyed this film. It's got some great action in it and stars I've never seen before. Next up, it's a film that some people may not like. It stars Jackie Chan and he's watching a baby. Robin B. Hood. I enjoyed this film because he's doing stunt work with a baby in his arms. And he's kicking ass. Next up, Fatal Contact. Boom. Got Jackie Wu Jing in it. I think this might be his first film that he's ever done. Before Killzone. After Killzone. I think this might be his second film he's ever done. After Killzone. And I highly enjoyed Jackie Wu. This film right here, I actually really enjoyed. More like a kickboxing type film. Okay, next up, Stephen Chow film. Some comedy. The Royal Tramp Collection. This is an I liked it, but I didn't overly like it. So I think I gave it a little bit more than mediocre. But there's a lot of people who really enjoyed this film. Okay, next up, Legend of the Black Scorpion. This is more of like a drama-like, it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon almost. It's got a lot of swordplay in it, and it definitely looks cool. I think I gave it a little bit more than mediocre review. Next up, Police Tactical Unit, PTU it's called. And it's actually a cool film and pretty crazy too. Okay, next up, Flashpoint, a really cool film. Definitely must have. This is a Donnie Yen film and he's performing some great MMA fighting techniques in it. He's really raw, he's really gritty, and he really kicks ass. Okay, next up, another Shaw Brother film from Dragon Dynasty. Come Drink With Me. Gotta have this. Female kicking ass, must have. Okay, next up, another Shaw Brothers film, also a Gordon Liu film, and it's a must-have. Heroes of the East. Very cool film, definitely different, something I've never seen before, story-wise. So, I highly enjoyed this film, must-have. A lot of these films are must-have. Invincible Target is the next film in my collection. It's number 29, and it's creators of New Police Story, Robin B. Hood film that I just showed you. And overall, it's a decent film. Got some cool action in it. I don't want to say it's really good, but it's a decent film. Next up, something that you gotta have, Jet Li, Tai Chi Master. Guess who this lady is? I keep on saying her name. Michelle Yeoh. She's in like everything. Tai Chi Master was like one of my favorite Jet Li films. It's of course he's flying around and everything somewhat, but the action in it is very good. I highly enjoyed Tai Chi Master, and I definitely have to rewatch it. And the film that really made me get into action is Fist of Legend from Jet Li. My all-time favorite, next to Fearless. This one is a must-have. If you don't have it, if you've never seen it, shame on you. You will become a big fan of Jet Li after seeing that. Next up, The Rebel. These actors and actresses, this is actually a decent film. And it's a Vietnamese film, by the way. And I think this is my first time seeing these actors. And over time, I've seen more of their films. I think that might be their first films. Anyways, next up, Super Cop by Jackie Chan. Awesome film, awesome action, just like the rest. Great stunt work. If anything, you gotta watch this film just to see him do all the stunts, man. Crazy. Next up, another Jet Li film. He's playing a cop. The Enforcer. It's another film I enjoyed. Some people be like, it's okay. But I'm a huge Jet Li fan, and I highly enjoyed it. I enjoyed most of Jet Li's work, most of his films. Next up, The Protege. Andy Lau and Daniel Wu in it. I like these two guys. This is a good film. It's a little bit more to me mediocre, I think. Also has commentary by Bay Logan, if you know who Bay Logan is. He's a cool guy. I chatted with him a few. Next up, an Donnie Yen film, An Empress and the Warlords. Boom. It's a cool film. It's got cool artwork on it, I think. It's more of an epic-like film with big, huge battle scenes. Cool film. It's like a drama, action. Next up, my all-time favorite. This is the film that got me into martial art film, Asian film altogether. Yes, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, and Bruce Lee helped that, but this is the film that made me expand fully, especially Shaw Brothers. Five Deadly Venoms, my all-time favorite film right here. This is my number one. Of course, I give this a 5 out of 5. It's not tons of action. The storyline's really crazy, and when the action does come, it's pretty cool. Next up, The Battle of the Warriors. This is another epic battle film. And I actually forgot what I gave this as a rating, to tell you the truth. Next up, this film right here is probably my top 10, top 20. Return to the 36th Chamber. Gordon Liu. Must have it in your collection. Next up, Return of the One-Armed Swordsman, featuring the same guy who played it in the first film, and I highly enjoyed it. Again, Jimmy Wang Yun kicks ass with one arm. Next up, a really good Gordon Liu film, The 8 Diagram Pole Fighter. A lot of people recommend this, and I do too. If you like to see some action, like to see a guy hitting people with a stick, big pole, check this out. I have to rewatch this. Next up, the return of the 5 Deadly Venoms. Most of the guys are in this. They are in 5 Deadly Venoms. Not the same story, just the same cast. Bunch of crippleds. Actually, this is AKA the Crippled Avengers. Awesome film. Some people may think it's weird because everybody's crippled. Somebody might be missing arms, legs. Someone might be blind or dumb. But I enjoyed it. Next up, it's a film that you gotta have. David Chang film, Shaolin Mantis. I highly enjoyed this. I like the whole process. I like the whole training sequences and learning how to do the Mantis fighting techniques. He comes up with it by himself. Awesome film. Next up, it's the third in the trilogy. Gordon Liu film, Disciples of the 36th Chamber. It's cool film. Not as good as the last one, but definitely belongs in your collection. Next up, 5 Shaolin Masters, another Shaw Brother film. Highly recommend it. Highly enjoyable. Artwork sucks though. Next up, Executioners from Shaolin. Again, artwork is sucking. They're putting a lot of stuff that isn't in the movie on it, just to try to grab the people's attention. But the film itself, don't get me wrong, it's very good. Next up, Mad Monkey Kung Fu. Crappy artwork, really good film. Gotta have it. Also has Ultimate Bad Guy Lo Lee in it. Next up, it's a two-pack of films. The Avenging Eagle and Blood Brothers. Very, very enjoyable films. And I'm glad it was in a 2-pack and pick up these 2 classics in one go for the same price. Gotta have it. Next up, Jet Li film, The Martial Arts of Shaolin. Shaw Brother film. His only Shaw Brothers film. Very good film. I enjoyed it. Next up, another 2-pack. Hey! Golden Swallow and Killer Clans. Both Shaw Brothers films, and Jimmy Wang Yu in this one right here. He's in the Golden Swallow film, which I highly enjoy. Both of them are like sword fighting films, like not really much hand-to-hand action, but overall both are great films and are must-haves. Next up, Flying Guillotine, all-time classic. Gotta have it. Crappy artwork, but cool film. Also stars my man Chen Quan Tai, Shaw Brother legend. Next up, Flying Guillotine 2. Crappy artwork again. Overall, it's a cool film. I enjoyed it. Next up, Outlaw Brothers. Also, it's a decent film. I enjoyed it. It's got some cool scenes in it, but I think I gave it a mediocre review. Next up, A Chinese Odyssey. 1 and 2, or part 1 and 2. It's pretty long stuff here. Overall, it's cool. A lot of people were talking about this, so I had to pick it up. And I think I gave it a mediocre review. Now let's get to the last 2 films. They're in Blu-ray. Now this is in my top 5 of all time martial art films. 36 Chambers of Shaolin. My Gordon Liu. Awesome film. Gotta have it. Tons of training sequences in this. And it kicks ass. Next up and last, Jet Li film. Showed you last time when I was showing you all my Jet Li films. I had The Legend 2. Well, here's The Legend 1. Awesome film. Kicks ass just like the second one. Gotta have both. Gotta have a lot of these Dragon Dynasty collections. A lot of the Shaw Brother films are must-haves. And the Chow Yun Fat movies are must-haves too. If you can find them, they're all at cheap prices on DVDs. At Walmart, you can get them for like $1 or something stupid. So if you can find them, pick them up, check them out. Alright guys, thanks for viewing. Come back again. You can check out part 4 in some time. I'm going to show you a bunch more Asian films. It looks like I'm going to go probably up to 10 parts. So it's a lot of films. Check out all the cool links below, guys. Thanks for checking out. SRF Ninja, out.